All right, we're live. You didn't expect to see us, did you? It is Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Keyboard Warriors Live, presented to you by RepTheWarriors.com. My name is Eddie Law. That's Rick Kerber. We're the Keyboard Warriors. Reason for this Monday show is because I'm so out of it, dude. It's because Wednesday I'm gonna be out of town and I ain't coming back till Friday. So we decided to go a little early. Plus, a lot of the 257 stuff fresh in our minds and shit. A lot of the craziness that happened on Saturday night. But and again, my internet is still shit. Not gonna lie to you guys. So if I go out, just give me a second. I'll be back on my phone. I already got this bitch ready to literally just hit go. All right, so we'll be all right. All right, let's get right to 257, man. It was a dope card overall from like start to finish. Let me see if I can pull up first fight of the night. Amir Albazi decision win over Zaga Zumagulov. Zaga's had nothing for him, pretty much. I think of a different fight. Did you see that fight? That was pretty dope.
Listen, right? I ain't gonna bullshit you, Jack. I'm a filthy casual at this point. I ain't gonna bullshit you. I ain't even planning on watching that one. I was like, oh, the fight started at fucking 6 o'clock and they started at 6:30 for Daddy Fred because I ain't rushing home to see those two pricks. I did catch the Nick Lentz fight, but I missed that one.
No, I had to fucking I had to call it, but like, or live tweet it for case I press and shit. But like, I'm so paying attention to what they're doing to like typing out clearly so people understand what's going on in the fight that I fucking forget to pay attention to the fight. Sometimes it's weird. But anyway, either way, Amir Albazi looked pretty solid overall. And there you go. All right, next fight up, Nick Lentz gets decisioned by Movsar Evloev. What do you think of Nick Lentz? Is he done?
Well, did you hear about Nick Lentz? I just
what?
I watched Morning Combat.
I don't know.
Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell today, and they were saying that leading into this fight, Nick Lentz had been complaining about having eye problems, and he retired.
Oh shit!
He did retire. I guess he was saying that in one of his eyes, he only has about 40% of his eyesight left in that eye. And I guess this fight was the last fight to just see if he if he could do this anymore. And I guess after the fight, he was saying like, "Nah, I can't get out this eye no more." So his fighting career is over. So that was it for Nick the Carney Lentz, man. Not a bad career, to be fair.
Not really. He did all right. He did okay overall.
A John Fitch type character. He never reached the heights of John Fitch, but I would say a John Fitch sort of grinding style. At his peak, Nick Lentz had that sort of. Yeah. He was a hard dude to keep off of you. Very tough, gritty sort of fucking. What do they call those cocksuckers? Wrestle boxers.
Yeah. No, it's although I would say Nick Lentz is probably more fun to watch than John Fitch any day of the week, honestly. But yeah, you're right.
Probably. Yeah. Fair enough.
All right. Then we go on to the ESPN prelims. Khalil Roundtree loses to Marcin Prachnio. I did not agree with that decision. I thought it should have gone Khalil.
I did too. But to be fair, not a good look for Khalil, man. Homeboy was coming off of 3 straight knockout losses, if I'm not mistaken. Bro, if you're Khalil Roundtree and one of your calling cards is sort of knocking dudes out, and we couldn't have lobbed you a softball. I mean, we lobbed you a motherfucking softball, and then in the third round, you're gassed out and dudes sort of coming on strong. Yeah, that ain't a good look. I do think that Khalil Roundtree won the fight, but it was such to the point that I'm like, you almost deserve that low key for you should have destroyed this fucking guy if you were going to make this fight was set for you to sort of get back on the horse and make a statement, and you missed that boat by a country mile, my guy. So sorry. I agree. I think you should have won the decision, but fuck, dude, you need to start fucking finishing guys. That's what you need to learn.
Yeah, no, he's got a lot of work to do to get back in the good graces of the UFC. I mean, he came in on fire and then went to Thailand to train, got even better, and then like Laura says, Khalil got robbed. He's also lost $1 million and lost me $60. I'm stalking him on Twitter.
Yeah, no, exactly. I completely agree. He did get robbed, but he did lose a lot in this fight too. I mean, listen, I'm a Khalil Roundtree fan, so after that fight, me being a fan, it's like, ugh, God, bro, that wasn't a good look for us, my guy. Like we needed. It's almost like they almost put a little bit of pressure on him by giving him somebody coming off a 3 knockout, because it's like, bro, knocking people out is what you do. Here's a guy that's been knocked out 3 times in a row. Fucking here's a highlight reel for you. And then not only do you not knock him out, but you fuck around and make the fight kind of close. close enough that they can actually give it to this fucking guy.
Yep.
Yeah, no fucking bueno, bro. No bueno.
Oh, it's a really bad look, and I mean, I don't think he'll get cut yet. I think he'll get one more shot, but yeah, but it's the next one's winner go home. All right, next up, Juliana Pena comes back after losing to I think Shevchenko to take on Sarah McMahon. I guess the third round submission win. Overall, like, it was pretty solid win for Pena, which I'm sure pissed off Jesse, who didn't watch because he doesn't watch anymore. But he what did you think of her call out first? Okay, first the win, then the call out. She did call out Amanda Nunes. What did you think of the win first, or at least her performance?
Not bad. To be fair, Sarah McMahon has been less than active lately. I don't know exactly what her story was. I think maybe she had a kid or something.
Something happened, yeah.
She'd been out for a while. She came back. She got a nice little win. I think the old girl, it doesn't say there, I think the old broad's like 40 years old, if I'm not mistaken. She's one of the older female fighters in the bunch. So, good performance, though. Listen, to be fair, at this level, any third round submission is rather impressive. If we're just kind of keeping it a bean here, anybody that sort of gets a third round submission off of any somewhat high level competition is a good thing. Shows that Julia Pena still got the gas tank to really be threatening in that third round, where we know Sarah McMahon definitely sort of made it a grappling fight too. Any fight she's in, they're going to be wearing on each other.
Right.
So, props to her for getting that win. It was an impressive win. Again, always impressive if you get a third round submission, as far as I'm concerned. But for all of me, that's sort of where the buck ends. You can you can kill all that. Now look, listen, a fight's a fight, right? Could she beat Amanda Nunes? Anything's possible, Jack. But based upon that particular performance, you being like, Amanda Nunes, you're scared of me, Jack. Easy killer. Easy, big girl. You go if you want that sort of smoke, you just keep winning fights and you'll get that smoke. But I don't think you want that smoke as much as you think you do. I don't think you do.
I mean, she says like, you duck me. The person you're fighting next has so many wins and losses and shit.
Only got
it's like
two wins or only 2 wins in a row or whatever. Yeah, I know.
It's all bullshit. I don't buy it.
Oh, listen, you're definitely not being ducked, darling. I mean, I love these people that think they're being ducked. 90% of the time, nobody's ever being ducked. It's always for money or this and that, the other thing. But one thing I can guarantee you, excuse me, Amanda Nunes is most certainly not ducking Julia Pena. Or however. Pena. I promise you that, darling. She's not ducking you. Like, she's just busy doing other things. Like I said, keep winning fights and keep that fucking mouth going. You'll get what you want one of these days. But again, for all of me, I don't really think you want to keep barking up that tree, darling. I don't. Listen, let's keep it a buck here. You don't want no smoke on the feet with Amanda Nunes. And I don't blame you, but you don't want that smoke. So the question becomes, can you out grapple her? Now, to be fair,
if she gets her down,
I think if you're going to beat Amanda Nunes at this point in the game, that's probably how. That's how Kat Zingano beat her. I mean, I think even though that was a month of Sundays ago, nonetheless, that's how Kat got the W. I think that is the strategy you would want to employ to beat Amanda Nunes. I just don't think Juliana is the one that's going to be able to enforce that strategy. Again, you got to fight somebody, and to be honest, fair play to her. What are you gonna do, right? Again, closed mouths don't get fed. So,
right.
Fair play. I don't think she really wants that smoke, but
I'll say this: she's on her way to. The more she talks and says stupid shit like a man and trying to duck you, she might get what she asked for, but she's also on her way to the Jessica I territory where everyone just goes, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but the problem with Jessica I is she can't fight all that good.
No, she can't.
Which we're going to get to here. But like, that's the problem. One thing I will give Juliana, the bitch is low key bad. Again, she finishes fights. So, like it or not, she does finish fights. So, got to give credit where it's due.
Right. Laura says Juliana got to take several seats. She won it in a lukewarm fashion, like the beans that get left out at the barbecue. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, it did take. Like I said, I think a third round submission is impressive. But on the same token, to her point, it did take her 3 rounds to get the fucking finish. It ain't like she just steamrolled her. On Sarah McMahon, who's 40, hasn't fought in a year, almost to the day a year. So,
I don't think that necessarily where's Amanda Nunes at. Relax.
Right. Yeah. Next, Brett Tavares comes back as a W after 2 straight losses against Izzy Adesanya in 2018 and Edmund Shabazian in last November. No, sorry, November 2019. So it's been a minute since he fought, like quite a while. Obviously, he had injuries and all that. Comes back, gets the decision win over Shoeface. I gotta say, I was very impressed with his takedown defense. Like, very impressed. That was pretty solid for him. Now, is he gonna make a run at 185 or whatever and get a fucking title shot anytime soon? I don't think so. But what'd you think of Brett Tavares there?
Like you said, man, listen, good performance. He needed the W really bad, and getting a win over Shoeface is, not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Right.
So kudos to him for that. But again, yeah, I don't know. What are we going to do with Brad Tavares in middleweight? I suppose he's putting himself in the position to be a nice little gatekeeper. He's that guy that we could sort of use to gauge,
how good somebody is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like a newer guy too, because he's not even really necessarily a high level gatekeeper, but sort of to get you to the high level. He's the dude you fight right before you fight Goro.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I mean, like he's like third line, but because he's not. I mean, listen, he ain't gonna be fighting for the title. I mean, not to be a cunt or nothing, but I mean, we're not doing that with Brad Tavares. But he proved he's tough and he can still win fights against notable name guys. So.
Right, and I know he has a loss to Izzy and all that. He's the kind of guy, like you said, you throw someone a little newer than him in, see if they're ready for the next level. But he's also the guy you call if like a title fight falls out. Like he's a suitable, I think, a replacement for somebody. Meanwhile, Shoeface gets his third loss in a row. Last two losses were Ian Heinisch and Uriah Hall in 2019. That dude, that's another guy hasn't fought in like a fucking year and change. So. All these guys that haven't fought in forever are finally getting some play here. Laura says McMahon has like great grandchildren.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's fucking 40. I mean, to be fair, I know that like obviously like women's MMA is sort of new, but I can't think of a whole lot of broads off the top of my head that have fought at 40 years old.
Yeah,
I mean, who you know what I mean? A few Tara LaRosa. There's a few broads out there that have fought into their 40s, but
yeah,
not that many at this point in the game. So she's sort of that she's definitely no spring fucking chicken.
No way. And HMSU, what's up, dude? Says Brett Tavares showed amazing takedown defense, 100%.
He did.
And Otis in the chat. What's up, Otis?
There he is.
Yeah. All right. Next fight up is Armin Sarukian against Matt the Streamroller Favola. Pretty. I hate to say easy. But these guys are in different levels. Armin is definitely much higher than Favola, or Favola just wasn't ready for this kind of opponent. Although, just to make sure everyone knows, both of these guys' opponents fell out. One didn't make weight and got sick, I think, and the other one was the one where it was that weird ass shit.
Let's talk about that.
Go ahead.
Ottman, these fucking pricks with these names. The German prick, Ottoman, whatever the fuck. Yeah. This fucking guy, I got ahead of this cute cocksucker. Boy, you and your team, and you know what? Good on you. Not only did you get your fight pool, but you got your funny ass kicked right out the UFC. This motherfucker. For anybody out there that might not know what happened, what's the guy's name again here? Do you know his name?
Ottman Azaitar?
Ottman Azaitar, okay. He was actually somewhat of a prospect too, right? Like we were looking
he has skills. The dude could fight.
Right. Okay. Ottman Azaitar. Him and his fucking team cut their again, I'm sure everybody watching this already sort of knows this, but in case somebody doesn't know, the UFC does these fucking fights on an island in a bubble. You come in, you get tested, you get sent to the hotel. They keep all this shit airtight so that they're able to do these events.
Mm-hmm.
You get wristbands when you get inside your fucking bubble so they know that you've been tested and you're good to go. Nobody gets inside the cocksucking bubble without a wristband, which is why this thing works the way it works and why we've been able to get fucking fights that keep us entertained throughout this whole very fucking serious pandemic that we're dealing with. These cute cocksuckers, Ottman and a few of the motherfucking, I guess a few of his coaches or whoever was on his fucking team, take their wristbands, cut them off, give them to some of their buddies who then fucking, I don't know, super glue them or whatever the fuck, they put some magic voodoo to them. They mesh them back together. And that's not even the fucking good part. So they had these other three dudes, whoever the fuck they were, sneak on, like get into the fucking bubble, which that's where they fucked up at. But here's where it gets real good. One of these cocksuckers comes through, and I don't even know what the fuck happened, but apparently he gets into one of the rooms goes out onto the fucking balcony, shimmies, and these are Dana White's words verbatim, shimmies across 4 other balconies to Ottman's room with a fucking mysterious bag that to this very moment, nobody has a clue what was in said fucking bag. This is one of the craziest fucking things I've ever heard about. Shout out to Ottman for at least fucking making his name known. But you know, also shout out what's the fucking probably get super doing this, but fucking Charlemagne, fucking donkey of the day goes to you, Mr. Ottman. You and your team. I don't know what was in that bag, but boy, it just straight up cost you your career, Paul Daly style. I mean, hardcore. What a fucking moron. So let's have a little fun here just before we fucking get over it. Let's play a little game of guess what was in the fucking bag. All you cocksuckers in the fucking comments, one good guess. What the fuck do you think could have possibly been in that fucking bag that they would, surely they knew this was a big deal and that they should not be doing this at all. I mean, they literally risked fucking everybody. And like, this was I mean, again, the guy got cut from the UFC. They didn't lose his fight. They didn't suspend him. They didn't fine him. They fucking cut him indefinitely, which again, people are really quick to shit on the UFC and Dana White, which fair enough. We should hold them accountable. But I really believe in the fact of being fair, man. When somebody does something right, you got to call a spade a spade. Hey, they did the right thing. They got to let people know, bro, we're not playing with you. Do not do that. What the fuck? Like, you do that, you're fucking out of here. We'll fucking cut you. Fuck your fight. Your fucking contract in this organization is terminated, my guy.
Dude, they risked the entire operation. Like, the entire operation was just because of these dudes.
And not to be a cunt, but you did that on a Conor card. Imagine if Conor won and you got Conor sick and he fucks around and dies. You're talking about the cash cow, my guy. You better wake the fuck up. You better go do that on a motherfucking goddamn it, Leon Edwards card or something, my guy. You don't fucking do that on a Conor card. You got your fucking mind?
That was so wild, dude. I'm thinking it was cocaine.
I'm thinking steroids.
Yeah, but what steroids are gonna help you the night before a fight?
I don't fucking know.
I don't know either. Anyone know?
Again, that's what I'm saying. Let's play a game. Like, guess what's in the bag? What the fuck could it have possibly been? Listen, my second guess would be drugs. I mean, illicit drugs or steroids. A bunch of fucking cash, maybe. Like, does Ottman have ties to the German mob? Was there $3 million in cash in the bag? Like, what the fuck is going on?
I so badly want to know what's in the bag. One day we got to find out.
Yeah.
Laura, it was his dildo. Y'all, I forgot it.
Now that would be fucking funny.
Cocaine was in the bag. Maybe IVs. IVs. Okay. Talk about plausible. Talk about an actual plausible, like a possible situation that.
Imagine Ottman's dealing them. Ottman's like, you feeling a little sick? Yo, I got that bag on me. I got that IV bag, baby. You need a little bit of that water. You need a little bit of that water straight in your veins.
Right.
Uncle Ottman's got you.
Yeah. What's up?
IV. Not bad. That's a pretty good fucking guess.
I had not thought of that at all. So, Ottman is the definition of stupid, like just dumb.
Oh my God, I know. Like, what a horrible fucking.
Oh, it is. Zaitar brought that upon himself. He's over there on some Mission Impossible mess, right?
Yeah, this that homeboy shimmied across 4 different decks. I'm like, yo, what the fuck's got Dana White out here using the word shimmy? Y'all are wild as fuck to be shimmying across. And first off, I don't even understand that. Like, bro, real shit. He could have went to Ottman's door. So he must have went to a different room and came in so nobody would have seen him going into Ottman's door, I'm assuming. Like, why the fuck would you go into it? You got the wristband. You in the hotel. Why the fuck would you go into 4 rooms down and then try to sneak on the fucking walkway of the goddamn what the fuck you call them? Balconies? What the fuck?
Yeah. So
what?
Zaitar he's German Moroccan lightweight, 13-0, 10 career knockouts, and just blew his shot in the UFC.
God, wow.
Let's see.
What a dummy, man. What a dummy.
What else is there? And you can see Dana White was like, there's more. Dana White knows more than he's leading on, right?
Oh, yeah. They asked him what was in the bag, and he said, I don't know. Motherfucker, you definitely know. There's not a God in heaven if you don't know. Dana White was the first person on earth that found out what was in that fucking bag. And that's why, and let me tell you something, whatever was in that bag, it was no fucking bueno. Because that's why Dana White ain't saying nothing. It might have been, you know what? On some real shit, I don't want to get too fucking crazy here.
Yeah.
And don't get, listen, I'm
not. I know what you're thinking.
I'm not trying to be racist or nothing, but motherfucker might have been on some terrorist shit. There might have been some sort of weapons of fucking, there might have been pistols or something in that bag. Dana White might have been like, motherfucker, don't ever let nobody. Don't ever let nobody find out what was in that goddamn bag. Like, cut him. Send all the motherfuckers out here, and we don't know. The mum's the word. Motherfucker had a bag. He was shimmying. That's all we know.
I'll tell you this, because afterwards, I watched all the post-fight press conference shit, and it was Dana White said something like the Abu Dhabi government has his name.
Yeah. Because they said something about like we'll police or whatever. And Dana White was at first he thought they were talking about Ottman, and he's like, nah, like we cut the guy. That's we're not gonna career. We're not gonna do anything else. But and they were like, what about the other dude? He's like, oh well, that dude,
fuck him.
That dude, the Abu Dhabi motherfucking police got his name. So that dude, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. That dude's they're gonna take that dude's dildo right up his ass in jail and shit. They keep him over there. Abu Dhabi, look, man. Anywhere not America, prison is fucked up. Prison here is fucked up. Everywhere else, it's fucked up.
Oh, and just in general, again, like motherfuckers think America's bad. You think those courts over there are going to play with that dude? Oh. They're not. You know what I mean? Like he going to get fucked.
They're gonna be, hey, bring in the jury. It's the judge's homies. Yeah, guilty as fuck.
Yeah, for real, for real.
All right, let's see what else we got. Here we go. Should have just had a drone deliver that shit in 2021.
Listen, that's how my man Johnny Bone Jones would have got the IVs in. You understand me? And John Jones would have thrown the motherfucking drone right up to his door, Jack.
Right. His bro Abu Azaitar is straight up criminal, so it ain't nothing good. That's good.
I heard that. I remember hearing that his brother was like connected to some sort of crime shit. So there you go. I mean, what are you gonna do?
It's just disappointing because it was gonna be a good fight. 100%.
I know. That's what I thought. That's what I was saying. Like I think it's one thing to lose a shitbird that nobody cared about, but like you said, the homeboy's 13-0, 10 knockouts. Fuck. It's like damn that bummer.
Dude, at lightweight, imagine him putting on a fucking show, putting on a big ass show, and just go ahead and keep jacking up the works at 55. I don't mind it. It's a great show. But no, we'll never know, or at least we'll never see him again. Anyway, Abu off his rocker, 100%. All right. First fight on the pay-per-view. And again, if Favola loses, to me, it doesn't count because it was super last second on everything. Dude stepped up to stay on the card. So I think they'll give him another shot. All right. So first fight on the pay-per-view. Okay, first of all, before we talk about the pay-per-view, who in the comment section had a problem putting this shit up? Okay. So, and you know this, when it comes to, because I do the live tweeting for Cage Press, right? If it's not a big card, where I don't think a lot of people are going to be not enough people are going to be watching it to jam up an alleged stream, I'll buy it, right? Or I mean, I'll just I'll allegedly stream it. I'll find some other way to see it. Maybe go to my homie's house, whatever. For a card like a Connor card or like a big ass card, right? That is going to jam up because everyone's going to try and stream it.
Right.
I'll buy it. So I bought this one. I do what I always do. I bought it with like one fight left during the Favola fight. I bought it. Maybe a little bit before, right? And sorry, my bad, Otis. I didn't mean to ignore you. No, we're not. We're doing this one because Wednesday night. Wednesday I'm gonna be out of town, so this is the only show for this week, and then we'll be back next Wednesday. I'll be back sooner than that, but we'll be back with this show next Wednesday. So there you go. So I fucking try to pull it up right on my laptop. That's what I do. I pull it up on my laptop, and luckily I have two laptops, so I hook one up straight to the TV with the pay-per-view, right? Can't pull that shit up. Fair enough. No, but I bought it because I the streams always jack up, and if I'm live tweeting it, I need to have like a perfect stream, right? And for a card this big, all the streams get fucked up. So and because it's a big card, and I don't mind paying for that one, but so I bought it, and then so I get on the paper, try to get the paper on my laptop, not working. The fight's about to fucking start. I need to fucking get on this shit because I got to live tweet it. Can't pull it up. I do last second. I try it on my phone and it pops up on my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't pay, $70 for this bullshit. Right? So I fucking had to prop my phone right by my screen and just watch it like this and fucking live tweet it. It pissed me the fuck off. I was going off. People couldn't watch it. People couldn't even pull it up. Some people couldn't even buy it. And then they asked Dana White about it. He was like, yeah, it's mostly in the West Coast. Like, bitch, you better be West Coast. You better be refunding all those West Coast folks. Dude, people missed 2.5 fights. Like, they got through. They lost the first 2 fights And then halfway through the third one is when they finally got the stream working okay, like decently. And then after that, it kept like kicking you off every once in a while. So overall, like Dana White versus streamers, the streamers won. Dana White gonna talk all this shit about don't stream my pay-per-view, but you can't even get the fucking pay-per-view to work. What the fuck is that?
You know, sometimes shit happens in life, boy, and it is just perfect, right?
Right.
The old saying goes, you couldn't have wrote a better script for this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Dana White picked this event to stand on his soapbox, and this was the time that he was going to get these streamers, and we're not motherfucking played his twisted sister, Jack. We're not going to take it anymore, motherfuckers. We're coming to get you this time. And wouldn't you motherfucking know it? This is the time. Because I'm going to tell you something. It wasn't just the goddamn West Coast. I'm in the fucking midst of the West. I'm in motherfucking Ohio. And I was waiting till the last minute. And just like you said, same exact thing. At this point in the game, I don't give a fuck. Take this Dana White. You sue me, Jack. You ain't going to get nothing out of me. You suck my dick. At this point, if the card is a big card, a Connor card, Israel Adesanya, like you said, a card where I ain't got no time to be fucking with these streams fucking up on me, then I'll order that bitch. Otherwise, I fucking hit the interwebs. Would I post it? Am I posting streams? Of course not. I wouldn't fucking risk my life to help y'all for nothing. Y'all suck my ass. Y'all wouldn't get to watch shit if y'all waiting on Dave Fred to stream nothing. I wouldn't risk my ass for nothing. But if some other cocksucker going to post it, and all I got to do is click the fucking link and save myself $70 because I got fucking 2 kids and I'm struggling, then fuck yeah, I'm clicking the goddamn link. So, again, fast forward to the Connor fight. He's shooting his mouth off about the streams. I was going to order the fight anyways because, again, it's a Connor fight. It's a big fight. We ain't had a big card like this first big card of the year. Boom, I'm going to order it, right? Wait to the last minute. Maybe that's my fault, but whatever. I go to order it. All right, and let me tell you that, like, so we do the podcast, right? We got our little community of Twitter MMA friends, so we all fuck around. We talk about the fights, but I don't know if this is like this for you. But for me, in real life, like I'm that guy, right? So when the fights come on, if anybody have any questions or any shit, they all hit me up. So right as I'm trying to order the fights, bing, ding, ring, my fucking phone starts ringing and texting. And it's everybody like, yo, what the fuck's up with the fights? Right. I ordered the fights and it's not coming on. Yo, Fred, are you watching the fights? What's happening? And right as I'm getting texts and calls, because of course it's a Connor fight, so all the casuals in the city, all my friends are watching this fucking fight, and nobody's able to get the fucking fight because the goddamn West Coast my ass, Dana. Nobody in fucking Ohio could get it either. Everybody I knew that ordered the fight Kyle, everybody. Them first 2 fights, we all got fucked out of it, and I couldn't even order it. And I'm sitting there thinking, all the people called. I'm like, oh shit. At first, I thought it was just my shitty internet or something. I'm like, cocksucker. And then I get those fucking calls and texts. I'm like, well, and then I go on Twitter. Everybody's complaining about it. I'm like, well, apparently it fucked up. And that's when it hit me. Isn't this fucking rich? You cute cocksuckers. And you know what I did? I tell you, you know who didn't miss those first 2 fights? Fucking Daddy Fred. Because I was like, fuck it. I try to be good. And you see what you do to me? You fuck me. Well, fucking straight to the stream I fucking went. And let me tell you something, BW, you didn't stop a goddamn thing. I had several fucking streams to pick from. They were up and pumping and running. And I'm telling you another thing. I won't mention no names because I'm not a shithead like Brendan Schaub, but there was a dirty rumor about a particular website going underwater. Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Daddy Fred visited that night and the motherfucker was up and running. So if you know, you know. But DW ain't stopping a goddamn thing. Like I said before, 3 things in this world that are going to keep fucking selling at this point, whether you like it or not: pussy, drugs, and streaming. It is what it is.
Pussy, drugs, and streaming. I'd say what it is, man. And at this point, I don't mind saying, like, man, fuck buying pay-per-views now. Like, if that's what I'm going to be spending $70 on, why the fuck would I do it?
Bro, and seriously, all bullshit aside, all jokes aside, I can't tell you how many times just on like the ESPN Plus portion of a card, you'll have people on Twitter like, yo, this isn't working for me. I had to go to a stream. Like my actual paid thing for whatever reason wasn't, and it's happened to me before too. For whatever reason, it just wasn't working for me. But you know what did work? Them fucking streams. Right as rain, 1080p. Those cocksuckers work every time. Fast as fucking lightning. But then the actual service you're paying for, come on, guys. All bullshit aside, if you're going to put your foot down on streamers, you cannot have a hiccup like this. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ Almighty! Come on, guys, what the fuck? And apparently, to the best of my knowledge, ain't nobody getting no motherfucking refunds. Like refunds, like mum's the word.
I went right to ESPN Plus's like help spot. I tried to get I called them and they were like, you were on hold forever. I fucking got on the chat like just to make a point. It wasn't. I don't believe for a second that I'm gonna get my money back. I know I'm not going to. That's probably less dollars that the UFC is gonna get out of me as far as pay-per-view goes. You know what I mean? Like fuck all that. That shit was irritating as hell. I have to find some other way to watch this shit. But Laura says fucking Denver and Disney don't buy and support the fighter directly. I agree. I'm down with that. But end of the day, you can't have your product. You can't bitch about your product getting to put it on for free and then have it not work. Well, you can't do that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no shit. I mean, how ironically fucked was that? The event that Dana White chose to really dig his heels in. I mean, to be fair, in all fairness, this usually doesn't happen. Right. Usually you order the pay-per-view, you get it. But on this particular event that you decided to shoot your mouth off, you fucked it big time, Dana. And it was sort of, it was sort of the worst time for this to happen too, DW, because what it did was it sort of proved the streamers and the hacker superiority. Like, because look, you know what Daddy Fred did? I tried to spend money with y'all, Dana. Mm-hmm. I wanted to order that fight, but you couldn't facilitate me. So you know what I had to do? I had to go back to my home. I had to go back to my dark web guys, my other guys. And you know what? When I couldn't get this stuff from y'all, you know who was there for me? They were. I clicked that fucking link. I didn't miss a fight, Jack. I seen if you want to get into the drama about motherfucking Amanda Hebes basically getting knocked out 2 times in one fight, we can discuss it. You know why? Because the fucking streamers kept me in the game.
Yeah, I got lucky. I was able to watch it on my phone, but that's not what I paid $70 for. So let's talk about Amanda Hebes getting knocked out twice. So the first time she got dropped and knocked out, honestly, Herb Dean got way too close. I couldn't tell if he touched Rodriguez to stop the fight. It was super close, but she thought she won. Turns around, and he come back. He goes, and she looks like she was like, "What the fuck?" And Herb's like, "No, I do shit, dude." Amanda Hebes, the look she gives Herb Dean when he said, "I didn't stop shit," she looks at him like, "Wait, you didn't what?" It was so fucking funny. And then poor Amanda took another ass whooping, got knocked out again in the fight. First of all, big win for Marina Rodriguez because Amanda Hebes was on a roll, and I think it's one of those fights, man, where 2 bad chicks get in the fucking cage, and one just then ended up getting the W. What'd you think?
Sure, yeah, I mean, I agree too. Yeah, I feel a little bad for her because it just seems like he was our token referee for a long time, and now it seems like he's just been making some bad decisions. Man, he's been sort of on the wrong side of a few. He's been on the wrong side of some bad. Like I said, it sucks because for a while there, he was the guy that we would sort of look to as our the best ref we had outside of Big John.
Right.
But he's made some bad decisions, and that was one. Like, bro, you can't hover like that and then expect them to not, especially after she just dropped the shit out of her. You can't rush up on her and be like, no, I was just playing. Like,
us watching, we thought it was over. Fucking hell! Like, what do you think she was gonna think? You know what I mean?
Right.
But, Laura says Herb Dean got to go. Hebes was cross-eyes. She was like, "Herb, save me! I can't do." He was his voice, but you can probably do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Otis, I'll get to your questions at the end of it because it looks like you got quite a fucking group in here. All right. So there you go. You guys get to see a pretty solid win on that one. Then Mahmoud Muradov knocks out Andrew Sanchez in the 3rd round. He was low-key dominating the fight up to that point anyway. So just to get to finish the way he did was pretty solid. Yep. And I mean, there's not a whole lot to unpack there. This fight was not as boring as I thought it was going to be. Is that fair?
Yeah. Fair. It was a good fight.
JoJo, I enjoyed JoJo like landing knees on Jessica Eye every time her dumbass started to clinch and shit. But other than that, like
I'm so uninspired by flyweight contenders. I'm sorry, I just say like JoJo, for as annoying as her little Scottish voice is, kudos to her. But does any of us out there think that she's got a fucking snowball's chance of hell at beating fucking Shevchenko? I mean, it's almost not even a fair fight. Like that's almost a fight that I'd have to worry about getting sanctioned. I mean, Joanne Calderwood, if Shevchenko was on her game and she didn't have a bad case of the fucking Ronies, she's gonna beat the brakes off of Joanne Calderwood. I mean, again, I guess Shevchenko's got to defend her belt, but boy, women's flyweight needs some legitimate contenders, bad, real bad. I mean, shout out to Joanne for getting the win, but I wasn't inspired by that win to think that she's gonna, if she's sort of next in line to fight Shevchenko. Jesus Christ Almighty.
Yeah. Yes, we are. If you head over to keyboardwarriorsmma.com, you can get on there. So yeah, like I'm done with Jessica. I hope it's over. Like it's one of those like just end it, just end it. However, there's not a lot of flyweights in the UFC, so I really doubt she gets cut. And then as far as Jojo Calderwood, I get it. She was supposed to have a title fight before, and she took that fight that last second fight, and it took a last second fight, and she lost it, and probably for the best, honestly. So, yeah, there you go. Moving on, co-main event. Michael Chandler had a fucking hell of a debut. Not only did he not have jitters, he took it to Dan Hooker and made Dan Hooker get jitters in a way. Dan Hooker looked so lost for as long as the fight lasted. What was it, like 2-3 minutes, whatever it was, 2.5 minutes according to this thing. He looks so lost, and then he eats that hook in that massive left hook that made Michael Chandler look like fucking Mike Tyson. Dropped, finished, and then Michael Chandler almost blows his fucking knees out doing a goddamn flip. But other than that, they gotta stop that shit, by the way. That's stupid, but whatever. Other than that, it was an incredible debut. I'm not gonna say it'll shut everybody up. That's was all pissy about. Michael Chandler shouldn't get to be the replacement fight in case Khabib drops out or Gaethje drops out, but he's damn sure on his way to being a top 5 guy. What do you think?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, listen, I never like to be the guy that claims to predict fights well, because I don't, and it's a real shitty. Like I can't tell you how many times I've swore up and down something was going to happen, and fucking the other person gets their ass creamed. Like there's no science to predicting fights, but for whatever reason, and you motherfuckers check the tape, goddammit, on every podcast I've been on. I see this is what I thought would happen. I don't know why, but I just felt like Michael Chandler is a dude who swings for the fences. He's short. He throws those big looping hooks, a la Iron Mike Chandler, and the knockouts he has. And Dan Hooker's a guy who gets hit a lot. He's a tall, like I just, when I thought about this fight happening, that's what I saw. Chandler coming forward, doing this number. Eventually, that is exactly what I thought would happen. Now, he could have not done that, and Dan Hooker could have started it with the knees and the clinch and the whole most of it. But if it didn't go that way, I thought for sure eventually Michael Chandler lands one of those big overhand rights. Because again, Dan Hooker's tall, but he's, it seems like all those tall pricks sort of, it's just a bad matchup usually.
They stand like this with the fucking chin out, like a fucking.
Yeah, those wrestle boxers always just sort of like Dan Henderson, man. Like this is exactly. I thought that Dan Hooker was the perfect fight for Michael Chandler. A good name, but perfect stylistic matchup. Because I tell you what, as great as Michael Chandler looked, and he did look very great. Now, I don't know. You know what I mean? If you put Chandler against Poirier or Gaethje or the Bronx, any of those guys, I ain't so fucking. I don't think he pulls that little stunt off. Maybe against Bronx he could do that, but against Gaethje or Poirier, I don't think that sort of thing happens.
Certainly not Gaethje.
He might land the punch, but it's just going to be a different sort of thing. Gaethje's going to be around his height. He's going to be slinging leather with him. It'll be a different sort of vibe. So Dan Hooker, I thought, was the perfect sort of stylistic matchup for Michael Chandler.
Speaking of that, and RG, you got to tell me what to call you, bro. I'm going to go with RGM for now. But Chandler lowered to the center of gravity. And appreciate you subscribing to the channel, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, dude, he was. Drop low.
Yeah. And bam. Yeah. I mean, it's a typical classic thing. Now, also that being said, I got to hand to Michael Chandler. I wasn't jumping out of my skin for his little promo at the end. He's no Chael Pete, but But to be fair, if he had said nothing or just been like, I'm so thankful to be here, I would have came on and reamed his ass for that.
Right.
So, hey, closed mouths don't get fed. He fucking opened that yap. He called out everybody from Conor to Habib. He probably ain't bit more getting any one of them fights than the man on the moon. But goddamn it, you gotta do what you do. He, for making his splash in the UFC, that's about as good as it gets.
Right. No, 100% agree. However, Laura's not impressed. She goes, Chandler beat the great value Dustin P. I'm not impressed. And she goes, listen, if I fought an underweight 12-year-old, I would look outstanding too. I like that one.
I mean, listen, to be fair, I sort of agree with her. Like I said, I really thought he was going to win that fight. But that being said, yeah, that just, listen, he will get one of those big guys next. I mean, he'll either get Poirier or Conor or Tony. I mean, I guess I'm thinking they're going to do Bronx and Gaethje, right? Like that's the rumor I've been hearing.
It
so
should be.
Unless they do one of those guys versus Poirier, I guess for a moment we could just sort of have that discussion. Well, we'll have that discussion after the next fight. We'll just talk about lightweight overall because now lightweight is fucking interesting.
Oh, it's part of the. At this point, it's the most fun fucking division in the UFC. But all right, let's talk about now that we got to this point, we could talk Otis's first question. Who is your loser of the week and how's it not a three-way tie between Sarah, no grappling defense, McMahon, Dan, Charles Olives, Hooker, and Amanda avoid the game plan Hebas? That's pretty bad. Yeah.
Listen, all three of them were pretty big losers, but no, Otis, I'm going to go with my man, C-Mac, none other than Conor McGregor. I mean, listen, he is. Let's not pussyfoot around it no longer. Let's talk about the whole show, man. What we came here to talk about, what we all tuned in for Saturday night. Some of us to either see him win and keep the story going, or for most of you guys on MMA Twitter to see exactly what you got to see him get his little Irish funny ass knocked the fuck out.
I have not seen an explosion of happiness on MMA Twitter like I did on Saturday night. That's the first thing I did was holy shit, he knocked him out. Finished the tweet I was sending out, and then I immediately went on my Twitter and started looking at the timeline. And people were like, Poirier, the diamond, fuck Conor. I saw a bunch of fuck Conor and shit like that. I'm like, damn, boy. And Conor didn't even talk shit for this one. Conor was legit respectful as fuck for this one.
Listen.
He was like, that's refreshing. I enjoyed that.
I understand why people don't like Conor. I get it, and I get that him coming in and being Mr. Nice Conor for one fight isn't going to undo that. And I don't expect it to. I understand that.
He'll go back to being what he was too.
No, I just mean in people's opinion of him.
Okay.
Like you can't just show up and be a nice guy. You can't be a dick to me 10 times and then show up and be sweet at the end and expect me to forgive you for all that. So fair enough.
Right.
That being said, again, you got to give credit where it's due. He was a fucking class act this time. From start to finish. I don't know if he actually kept to his word about the donation, but if he actually donated fucking $50,000 to Dustin's fucking Good Fight Foundation, and he stuck to all the things, he didn't make no excuses about the loss. I mean, again, think what you will about Conor McGregor and all the sexual abuse allegations. I mean, there's a lot there to. I mean, all joking and hyperbole aside, you do have reasons not to like the guy if you choose to do that. But as far as this particular situation goes, you got to give credit where it's due. He handled all this like an absolute pro and champ. He was respectful of Dustin the whole time. Even after the loss, he gave credit to the leg kicks. He didn't make excuses. He's been a class act throughout this whole thing. I mean, he handled the loss. You got to give Conor credit, man. He really does handle the losses pretty fucking well. For as much shit as he talks going into him, he sort of handles the losses about as well as you can handle them for somebody in his position.
Sure. No, and just like Otis just said, people don't like McGregor. However, I give him his credit. He's not a sore loser. I 100% agree.
Like, I mean, that's a fact.
Like after he lost to Nate, he was just like, hey, well done, whatever.
I want it back.
After he lost to Habib, he didn't say shit because Habib got crazy. But otherwise, other than that, taking the L's, like, he's kind of either he's grown or he's just. I mean, I don't know. Like whenever he talks shit before the fight, I'm like, is this real? And like, for example, sometimes it comes off scripted as fuck. Like the Gazelle bullshit got so annoying because I'm like, this is scripted. It sounds like you wrote it fucking like months out and you've been like rehearsing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then sometimes it's fun. Like, who the fuck is that guy? Was fucking great.
Right.
But afterwards, win or lose, he's actually pretty respectful most of the time. Like, I mean, shit, we saw when he knocked out Chad Mendes, right? He goes to Chad Mendes and gives him props, whatever. Thanks for taking the fight. You know, Jose Aldo didn't show up, but either way, you got to give him credit for knowing how to lose. That's important to do in this game.
For sure. Okay, let's talk about the fight for a moment now.
Sure.
So I'll give you my impression of the fight, and then you tell me what you think. Okay.
Right.
For me, I felt like the fight started, and I felt like Conor was a little off. I felt like his timing was a little off. I felt like, to be fair, I felt like Dustin he looked a little faster, in my opinion, than Conor in the very beginning. I felt like Conor was landing a couple of the exchanges, but Conor ate a big right hand sort of in the beginning too. I think that sort of was like, whoa, fucking he's going to have to wake up and really take this shit seriously. And he did. And he landed some shots. I felt like towards the end of the first round, middle end of the first round, he started sort of finding his groove, and he sort of kind of starting to land on Dustin. And I felt like that's why going into the second round, he came out and started really sort of opening up a little bit and letting some heavy shots go, which ultimately ended up costing him. Now, I'll say this about the finishing sequence. It's a strange thing, too, because I think that Conor, again, like all sort of bullshit aside about his personality or whatever, I think he's a smart fight mind. Dare I say a brilliant fight mind. I think he really understands the fight game, and he I think he takes pride in really sort of like studying that sort of shit and being very knowledgeable on martial arts and that sort of thing. That being said, again, if we're just judging strictly on in cage fight IQ, for me, I feel like Conor's fight IQ might not be that great. You know, in the ending sequence, he has Dustin on the cage. He gets turned around. He gets his back put on the cage. And then Dustin sort of starts opening up. Dustin finds his range. And I feel like Conor sort of just gets like a deer in the headlights. He never sort of tried to clinch. He didn't really sort of shoot out a teep. Hell, to be honest, I know there would have been gifs running around the internet, but he maybe should have just ran. Like, he sort of just tried to bob and weave, and he just waited, like, I guess maybe if he waits another 10, 15 seconds, Dustin punches himself out. But at a certain point, again, I'm a Conor fan. I'm thinking, get the fuck out of there. What do you? And then eventually he bobbed when he should have weaved and right into one, and down he goes. It's like when Dustin first started landing, I'm thinking, get the fuck off the cage, Conor. Get out of there. And then he just sort of waited there, bobbing around until he got clipped. And then in hindsight, I'm like, I mean, again, keyboard warriors, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's easy for me to say sitting on my fucking couch, but for me, I was sitting there thinking, like, the smart thing to do in that situation is probably get the fuck out of there and regroup. As a warrior, like the smart thing to do in that moment, get out of there, because you're getting tagged. He's finding his range. This isn't a fucking movie. You're not going to keep bobbing and weaving. You're getting hit. You're getting hurt. Throw a teep kick to his sternum, back him up, or fucking get the fuck a hold of him, clinch. I mean, what the fuck are you doing? You're just staying at the end of his punches. And you know what happens when you do that? Exactly what happened. You got fucking memed. Like, maybe it's easier said than done too. Maybe when you're on the end of somebody's punches, it's a little hard to get out of there when they're fucking thunder striking you. But for me, that's just what I remember thinking when he was on the end of the punches, eating them. And I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of there, Conor. Circle, teep. Don't just keep fucking moving, because this is exactly what's going to happen. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of there.
I pay a lot of attention to body language before the fight. Not the press conferences, none of that shit. I watch the walkouts. To me, the walkouts will tell you how calm and comfortable, and confident someone looks, right? But the prime example I always go to is Jose Aldo against Conor McGregor. When Jose Aldo got in there 194 or 196, no, 194. Fuck, whatever pay-per-view it was. It was and when Jose got in there, Conor got in there first, confident, Billy strut, all that bullshit. But when Jose got in there, dude, he looked worried. He looked like he was feeling the weight of the moment. I think Rogan said those exact words on the fucking broadcast, but he looked like he was feeling it, right? It's a fucking bright lights. It's a Conor McGregor fight. Holy shit. I've never been in something like this before. And he gets snuffed quick. When McGregor walked in the cage for this one, I didn't feel that confidence out of him, man. It was weird. Like, I pay attention to that shit a lot because he gets in there and, he goes through the motions, this shit when they announce his name and all that. But it looked like he was going through the motions with it, right? Poirier comes in there like he always does. Paid the cost to be the boss. Just getting warmed up. Maybe looked a little nervous, but not too crazy. And then when the fight started, after they got out of like the 2-minute mark, Poirier looked like, I took some of his shots. I'm okay. Nah, let's go, right? Throwing hands, landing, eating them, and still landing on them. I'm with you. McGregor looked off. But I will say this, and I already see it in the comment section. I'll go through all your comments. Don't worry, I put them up. This whole thing about Conor was gone for a year, true. Agreed. 100%. Why does he get that excuse but nobody else does? You know what I'm saying? Like, all these other fighters, they're out for a year and chain. Nate was out for 2 or 3, comes back and beats the shit out of fucking Anthony Pettis. And you know what I mean? Like, it's weird. Like Conor didn't make any excuses for himself. Everybody else did. And again, all fairness, I'll put it out there. I picked Conor to win this fight by knockout. I was like, fuck, a year off. This dude's like a special fighter. He's gonna come in and snuff the shit out of Poirier, right? I think I said like the first or second round. I might have said second round, but like, come on, man. Fighters do this shit all the time. They're out for a year and plus, they come back and they win. Like, this is not, to me, all this shit about McGregor was out for a year and all this stuff. Yeah, okay, cool. Poirier beat the fuck out. He knocked him out, right? He wasn't like a super dominant, but he knocked him the fuck out.
He low-key beat the fuck out of him there at the end. I mean, the whole fight was like that. But it wasn't like a one-hitter quitter. He got lucky with one punch. I mean, he was talking about that was like old school motherfucking Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz sort of beating.
So, right. So, but outside of that, I thought McGregor looked good, man. Honestly, he again a little off, but I love how the one thing McGregor does really well, and he changes like the way he puts his arms, and he goes in there like this with the opponent's fist right by his face, and he'll throw these right here. How close are you if your opponent's elbow's in your face, not hitting you, and you're throwing like wide hooks? It's perfect for him, right? His striking style is beautiful.
So what was Conor saying, right? What was it? Was it precision and accuracy beat timing, or timing and accuracy beat speed and power? Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Completely agree. And here's the thing, man. It's not just the year that he was out from this Conor to this Poirier fight. For me, this all starts with the Floyd fight.
Oh, for sure. I hadn't thought about that.
This starts after the Eddie Alvarez fight.
I hadn't thought about that.
Like, I believe that the timing and accuracy thing. I don't think that I think Conor hits hard, but I don't think that was really like, he's not a power puncher. I would not say that he's not a power puncher. Michael Chandler is a power. He throws softballs. Boom. Down you go. When Conor would hit people, it looked like they were getting sniper rifled.
Right.
Like when Chandler hits you, you hear a thump. It's a band, like you're like, oh shit, somebody's got their jaw broke. Conor had that sort of Anderson Silva. He'd hit you and dudes would drop and you'd be like, wow, that didn't even look like that landed that hard. What happened? Yeah, like what happened? Because it was precision. It wasn't power. He was just putting them shots right on the money spot, right on the spot that just puts you down. And in order to have a style like that be effective, I think your most important thing is ring time. You gotta be to get your timing and accuracy that in tune. You gotta be actually playing the dance, man. You can't get that in the gym unless you're straight up fighting. And hell, you can't even get it in the gym unless you're You can't get it unless you're fighting killers. And you know who's been actually fighting killers and getting that timing and accuracy right? Dustin Poirier. And it showed in the fight. So I think that the best thing, in my opinion, as a Conor McGregor fan, and don't get me wrong, this loss sort of sucked a little bit because Conor had that sort of weird mystique, and you just can't keep losing. The mystique is just growing away. But now that it's sort of gone, if we're just going to be like, okay, if Conor's like, listen, I made $100 million. Now I just want to fight, man. I want to I'm ready to win, lose, or draw. Let's get to it. I think the best thing for Conor is to get out there, get another fight immediately. And if you win that fight, another fight, like activity. I think that's what'll keep Conor fucking, doing well.
No, I agree. He needs activity. Let's get to your guys' comments. Poirier was all there for the title. Dana White has to leave Khabib alone and move on. So it sounds like they are talking Poirier versus Michael Chandler, but I prefer Duke Bronx in there. McGregor was out for a year though. Agreed. But like I said, if we're gonna give him that excuse, we gotta give it to everybody. All right. And I'm sure Fred will be back. I respect Dana White for keeping America alive during the shutdown. He's got to stop acting like a gangster. He wasn't even close to a gangster here in Boston. You're not wrong, man. But you got to give him credit. You got to give him credit for being able to keep the UFC going, and in mostly safe circumstances, like the way the NFL and the NBA are getting positive cases now and having to. I mean, the NFL not so much. They had to postpone games, but not cancel. But the way like the NBA's had to move games and postpone them and do all this shit. You got to give UFC a lot of credit for being able to do like a bubble. Like, I mean, look, that's why Ottman got cut, right? Like, he risked that shit hardcore. Could have fucked up the entire show, just with the bullshit his guys pulled. He did donate the $500,000. Oh, to the Good Fight Foundation. Hell yeah, dude! I don't know if you guys saw it, but Otis did. By the way, just because I knew we were talking about it earlier, he did donate $500,000 to the Good Fight.
It was $500,000.
$500,000.
Jesus Christ! I thought it was 50,000. Yeah. What?
No. Fuck? And you got to give him. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched the post fight interview with a post fight press conference with Poirier, but he was talking about how him and Justin Wren?
Yeah,
Justin Wren. They bought him and there was a Good Fight Foundation and Justin Wren's foundation bought 40 acres for the pygmies, right, to build homes on. The Manny Pacquiao's group, whoever that is building homes on that. All right, so you can imagine what $500,000 can do. I mean, I know it's going to be split up. It's not all going to go to the pygmies and all that.
Sure, but yeah,
$500,000.
That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, man.
You got to give guys like Conor credit for that shit. And it's not like Conor said, came out and put up a big sign and took a picture with a big ass check either. Like right. I like guys like Conor, like other like Larry Fitzgerald with the NFL with the Cardinals, who donate and stay in the shadows.
Listen, all bullshit aside, like real talk. The sexual allegations about Conor are not cool. That part that's the one thing and to be fair, we don't know how true any of that ever was either. So, but taking that out of it, Conor's a short little loudmouth Irishman, very easy to not like. But in the grand scheme of things, his actions have actually not been so bad. I mean, he's actually donated a lot. This is again $500,000 for fuck's sakes, man. He donated a bunch to one of the SBG fucking branches in Ireland. He literally kept the gym open.
Paid their rent for 2 years.
I mean, imagine how many people keep their job. I mean, this is real shit, man. Like he's actually, he's made a lot of money. He's did great for himself, but he's actually sort of really done some all right things with it. I wouldn't quite call the motherfucker a philanthropist, but like, you know what I mean? He's not exactly the greediest dude in the world either, though, man. So like, if you dislike him because he's a loudmouth prick, I understand that. And again, the rape stuff, I don't know what the real truth is, but that's sort of not cool. And if you're a woman and you have those opinions, far be it for me to tell you to change them. But otherwise, if you're just like, you just talk so much, shut up. He's not that bad of a dude, man. He's not that bad, for fuck's sake.
And he's a great salesman. Otis says a year away from the game and a change in camp will do that to you. He changed camps?
I know he moved. That's what Habib was saying, but I didn't know that he. Yeah. I thought he just moved. I don't think he was like. Without John Kavanaugh and stuff.
No. John Kavanaugh still his guy, and who's his hands?
Roddy, whatever the fuck. Yeah. Like all those people are still there and stuff.
Yeah, it's the same coaches and everything, right? He just moved to Portugal for just to get the fuck away. Guys, people do that all the time, by the way. They go somewhere isolated.
Again, I think we will look back on Conor McGregor's legacy And it's a weird thing, right? I think the Floyd fight will be the worst thing. And who knows? Because that's the question mark, right? Who knows what he would have done in MMA if he had just kept going after the Eddie fight?
Right.
If he would have stayed active and every 3 months, because I mean, fuck, he didn't fight Floyd for like a year after
the
that or something. And we don't know. So I think after that, like he hasn't. It's been so long since he'd been doing, and even during this fight, he's talking about boxing Manny Pacquiao. It's just like Connor's like that favorite band you had, man, that blew the fuck up, and they were the shit on those first 3 records. And now they're putting out records and you're just sort of not feeling the vibe. And it's like they put out them first 3 records and they were classics because they were hungry and they wanted everybody to know how good they were. And then everybody's like, oh my God, this is the greatest band on earth. And now they sort of make shit records. That Connor that we had that was eating dry blueberries, that was on fucking Ireland's fucking government wages. He wanted those suits. He wanted those fucking shoes. He wanted the big cars. Bro, you can't have the determination of that man when you now have all the cars. It's just literally not possible. I think what we're seeing out of Connor is about as good as you can get for a man who now has all of the things that he set out to have. I mean, what are you going to do?
Right. No, Connor's Lincoln Park.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Connor's Lincoln Park.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was brilliant, but now it's just like, I don't think he can find that same determination that he had when he was that featherweight and that guy before the Floyd fight. I think the Conor before the Floyd fight and the Conor after the Floyd fight are completely different. And I don't think it's because of what happened during the Floyd fight. I just think it's all the money, all the time away from the sport. Again, this sport is the greatest sport on earth. And in my opinion, it is the most grueling, the most ever evolving and changing, and the hardest sport. Son, you cannot take this sport for advantage. That's why, again, love him or hate him, John Jones is something to be admired, man. I mean, again, maybe he's cheating, steroids, all most of it, but to go undefeated in a sport like this for that long, for this long, even if a couple of them fights were a little questionable, it's just so hard.
Near impossible.
Changes. Yeah, it just evolves too much, and it's so easy to lose it. It's such a win it all or lose everything sport. That's why we love it so much. But it's like, man, when you're at that level, fucking what was that? Any given Sunday, suck my ass, Jack. Any given Saturday. Any given Saturday, bro, you can catch that. You can catch your fade, and it could be your time to go, man. And that's just the way it fucking goes. And you can't. I don't give a fuck who you are. You can't go do 2 or 3 years away and all this kind of shit like that, man. It just, the sport's too unforgiving for that.
You're 100% right. And had Habib Nurmagomedov stuck around, he'd have found his fucking guy. He'd have found the guy that finished him at some point.
Yeah, and to put a quick little add on that, I know we gotta get out of here, but I do think that Habib will be back.
We'll see.
Quickly for lightweight, let's do that right quick now.
Okay.
I think Habib will be back, but for now, let's take him off let's just assume that he's not coming back for the sake of argument. So Habib's out of it. We have to crown a new lightweight champion. Dustin Poirier just beat Conor McGregor. Conor says this has not deterred him. He says he'll be back. He says that he will fight again. So just for the sake of argument, let's just assume that Conor is also in the mix. So Poirier's in the mix, basically the uncrowned champion, in my opinion, at this point. I think most people would agree with that. Conor's in the mix. Charlie Olives is in the mix.
Yeah, you gotta be.
Gaethje's in the mix. Chandler's in the mix. What are you doing? What are we doing? How are the matchups going? What's happening at 55?
Fucking hell, dude.
Nate, let's throw Nate Diaz in there.
Nate's got to get in there.
So Nate's in there too. So first off, let me ask you this. Conor's coming back. Who do you match Conor up with?
Fuck me. Oh, man. Justin Gaethje. Off the top of my head. Justin Gaethje.
Funny that you say that, because I tell you what, I was thinking about this, and they supposedly Justin Gaethje and Charlie Olives are going to fight.
Right.
In my opinion, if I'm the matchmaker, I give Conor Charlie Olives.
That'd be great. That's the other one I was going to say.
I think that's the most winnable fight for Conor. I think that Conor can knock Charlie Olives out. I think he can keep his distance. He can not get tangled up, and he can outstrike him. And we do know that Charlie Olives can most certainly be knocked out.
I can see that.
So if Conor's going to stick around, we definitely need to get him a win. I also love the Tony Ferguson fight for Conor McGregor, though, too. Just on a stylistic matchup.
Coming off L's and everything, it's still a big name. You can say whatever you want. Tony Ferguson's still a big guy, a big name. The other guy I want for Charles Oliveira, for whatever reason, Mike Chandler.
Yeah. Well, for me now, and I know a lot of people don't love this, but I just feel like Michael Chandler should fight Dustin Poirier next.
Probably.
I just feel like that's the way to go here. It's a fresh matchup. It's not like Michael got to walk straight into a title shot. He knocked the fuck out of Dan Hooker to get it. And it'll be a fun fucking fight. Who you know, what the fuck's not to like about Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier? That's another one of those fights that's absolute guaranteed fireworks, no doubt.
Yeah. Now, Dustin was talking about like, oh, you know, I've always wanted to beat Nate's ass and everything. Look, I love gassing that fight up because it makes everybody mad. However, Poirier called him out, and they were supposed to fight before. That's one thing. Now, that fight's not going to happen. Not right now. I highly doubt it. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think what we're going to get is what you said. I think you know, because Dustin did say, I don't want to fight no Michael Chandler. Let Michael Chandler fight Oliveira. Fuck all that. Let him, they figure it out, then we'll talk. But I think Dana White's going to be like, you want some more money from the pygmies there? I got you, bro. Let's get that Chandler fight. So I think you're right. I think it's going to be Poirier Chandler, and I think they're going to sneak on the same card McGregor DS3. I think that'd be the move.
I ain't mad at it. And I was thinking that too. Boy, I tell you what, man, the matchmakers and the UFC and us as fans, to be fair, are in a really good spot with lightweight.
Here's a gift that lightweight motherfuckers enjoy.
There are so many ways you could go with that. The McGregor Diaz trilogy would also be a great way to go at this point. And this would be a pretty good time to cash that fight in at this point 100%. For Conor, you know what I mean? And Nate. It does leave Tony Ferguson again sort of on the outside looking in. You got to right there too. I don't know. I guess maybe have Tony and Dan Hooker fought?
No.
I suppose they're both coming off losses. They got to fucking have some sort of dance partner. I ain't mad. I ain't particularly mad at that.
And look, man, you know, Hooker was just a top 5 guy. Tony's a big name. They both have something to gain here. That's not a bad fight.
And then you just go ahead and you do Gaethje and Charlie Olives, because that, I think, like, realistically, I think Charlie Olives and Conor McGregor is a fun fight for Conor to get a W and get back in the right track. I think it's a good stylistic matchup. But I think what you said actually probably makes more sense, makes more money, and will probably be what they would do. I think if they could do if they can line up a Diaz McGregor trilogy fight as a co-main event,
that'd be so great.
To a Chandler Poirier fight. Makes my pussy wet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people would be on board, and it seems like all the dates and times would line up. They all fall on the same card, so that's probably very doable. Charlie Olives and Justin Gaethje seem like they're all but sold. Tony Ferguson's waiting in the wings, and Dan Hooker just took the L, so that
makes sense.
Yeah, that would. And then listen, Khabib. I think Khabib will come back at some point. We have to see what happens.
I think he's gonna sit there and watch this play out. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is gonna be like a mini like lightweight tournament. First of all, I would love to get all those fights on one card. That's not gonna happen. But this is like a mini lightweight tournament here. And I think Khabib's gonna sit back, watch it all play out, see who ends up at the end, and be like, okay, I'm back.
Has Khabib just flat out said like 70's not an option? I mean, am I the only one that just keeps barking up this tree? Like I realize 55, I get it.
Yeah.
Listen, no, ain't none of them fools got nothing for you at 55. And I mean, I don't give a fuck if Chandler does knock out Poirier. I still don't think Chandler's got nothing for Khabib at this point. But baby, Khabib, you're not Francis Ngannou. You know, there's a whole bunch of other men that we can sort of test you against. Like, if you want to, you know, if you actually want to test yourself, bro, 170's got all the smoke you can handle. It's got a loudmouth, white, cocky cocksucker named Colby. They've got Usman if you want to really go for sort of real crazy glory. And even if you want the fucking George's fight, if you want to fight that bad, fight George's at 70. I wouldn't be particularly mad at that. Fuck trying to make George come to 55. Fight him at 70. Let him be his whole full self.
And at the same time, if he's really serious about this whole, I don't want to upset my mom and all stuff, just go. Just go. But I think the only one keeping this whole thing alive right now is Dana, because it makes sense. He should try and keep it alive. I think he said so himself. But I
don't know, man. I have a hard time believing Habib never competes again. He's 30. You don't think the fan's going to get bored? He's been competing his whole life. I mean, listen, take all the sort of horse shit out of it. What he's starting a farm. How long is that going to be exciting for? I mean, seriously, how long is he going to go to the gym and watch all of his cousins and his brothers train and win and get and of course it's not about the money. Listen, you think Conor needs money? He didn't need to fight Dustin Poirier for no money. These guys are real competitors. And I think for sure, no doubt about it, Habib is a competitor. I just can't for the life of me see him actually walking away.
Right.
I just can't, man. I feel like he's going to get bored as fuck with real life. And at some point, that itch is going to come back strong and hard for him. Plus, he's the fucking man. I mean, there's going to be no shortage of demand to see the man compete. Like, I just think there's no way in the world we don't see Habib fight again. And I tell you what, everybody's like, he's going to fight at least one more. I think we see Habib compete a few more times. I mean, he's just too young. It's not, if he was like 35, 36, he's 30. He's a young dude, sort of. I mean,
look, I get what you're saying, man, but I just wonder if he's that kind of guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, competitor and everything, normal guy, sure. But this dude retired upon the death of his father after making a promise to his mother and also the stuff is kind of like, okay. But where I do agree with you is when he told, apparently this is according to Dana White, Khabib told him, like, Dan, to be honest with yourself. Like, basically, these guys have nothing for me. That 170 option is still there. Or if someone comes out at the top of this little lightweight tournament, and he goes
amazing, yeah.
Okay, motherfucker, that one. I want that one.
That's right. So, I think it would be interesting if somebody at 170 started really talking to Habib the way Conor did. You know, if Colby can string together a couple wins and he starts calling for Habib, I think that might be interesting. Because again, it's not like, here's a guy that you might not beat, Habib. You might not beat Colby Covington, like him, love him, or hate him. That's a fight that go fight Colby at 170. I have my doubts and my reservations that you got anything for like keeping it a bean. As much as I hate to say it, I don't know if knowing how Habib fights, I don't know if that works against a guy like Colby. I don't know. I don't know if he's big enough to do that to Colby Covington. I just don't know if he could.
People were talking Habib Usman, and I'm sitting there going like, I'd be watching that Usman fight like, oh shit, this is like.
I don't think people understand how big Usman is. Like,
Usman's a massive dude.
Powerful, strong guy. That's the thing. Like, I mean, and for Habib's game plan, is Habib going to be able to muscle Usman to the ground and control him on the ground? I don't fucking think so, dude. I don't. So it's like, and again, I guess to be fair, no sense in putting him in a fight. But listen, if you're that good, every other fighter in our world that's that good, be it BJ Penn and even the great John Jones himself, if you prove to be that good, the way you truly prove yourself is you move up. I mean, even in boxing, guys like Manny Pacquiao,
up and down.
Yeah.
Up and down.
Unless you're at heavyweight, there's always a bigger, badder dude for you to test yourself against. And Habib, all things considered, you're a small dude. You got all kinds of weight divisions you could move up. You can keep moving right up the ladder. There's all kinds of gentlemen in the UFC that would give you a hell of a fight if you're willing to take it.
And that last weight cut was kind of shit for him, so it's very possible.
Right.
All right. We're gonna go through a bunch of comments. Conor didn't look comfortable in the new stance. He's adopted. It used to be more karate-like stance, and now it's more like boxing-like. He looked a bit awkward. I think it has to do with his new boxing coach. It's possible. He did look a little different. You're right. Although I wonder how much of that was like to not get his leg kicked, and then he got his leg kicked anyway with the boxing stance. So I think I get what you're saying. Getting out of the silk sheets to run at 4 a.m. with $100 million in the bank, hard to be hungry anymore.
Yep,
agreed.
That's fact, man. It's fact.
Only way to win fights is to train like a savage. Smart. Train for speed, power, explosiveness, endurance. I would love to train Tony Ferguson here in Beantown, Boston Metro. There you go. We got a coach.
Well, I think some of it isn't even necessarily just training. You got to compete, man.
You got to be
out there fighting the best of the best 3 to 4 times a year to keep that sort of, like I said, that timing and accuracy, bro. You got there's no shortage for experience.
Timing, speed, position beats power.
There it is. Exactly. And you need in-round experience to get that.
What else we got? Oh shit, where we at? Fucking hell, I lost all. There you go. All right. I'll tell you who you don't match him with. Tony, fight me.
I don't know. I think that's a fun fight.
Nate Diaz or Justin Gaethje, another good one.
Again, the funny thing about this fight or this situation at lightweight, rather, you can play fucking mix and match
Anywhere.
all these guys. Matter of fact, you could even do Dustin Poirier, Nate Diaz, and I wouldn't be mad at it. Who's gonna be mad at Nate Diaz getting a title shot?
A lot of people.
I know, but fuck it. I mean,
not?
Nate's paid his fucking dues. And listen, I think Poirier wins that fight at this point. But one thing you can't tell me is that it would. Much as I like Conor, I'm a Conor nut hugger. A fight with Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier would most certainly be more. Dustin Poirier will not knock out Nate Diaz in the second round. No. I do bet you that. If he beats Nate, he'll beat the fuck out of him for 4 or 5 rounds. He won't finish him in the second. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, he'll kick the living shit out of that leg and then just pop him in the face a million times, but he ain't knocking him out.
He'll do exactly what he did to Conor.
Exactly.
Except Nate will take the beating for 25 minutes.
Nate will be like, fuck all that. You still ain't knocking me out.
Nate will look like shit afterwards, but he'll be right there going, fuck you.
Yeah. That's why you love Nate Diaz, though, because that dude don't give a fuck. That or the doctor will stop it because it was all that fucking scotchy shit he has on his goddamn face. All right. Habib will be back for Dustin Poirier because he knows he'll beat Poirier, Justin G, or Tony Ferguson, the next champs at 55. We'll see this year for sure. I think this is going to be at least the first half of 21. It's going to be like all lightweights. So we'll see. Habib doesn't come back. He's just sitting on his millions at his farm.
See, I feel like that. Yeah.
Habib is Nyko. That's so true.
I don't know. I low-key think Usman beats the fuck out of Habib. There's weight divisions for a reason, man. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, that's what we love. I'd love for Habib to come back and attempt to prove me wrong, but I think Usman's too big for Habib. And stylistically, if Habib had a Dan Henderson right hand that he could fucking knock the fuck out of Usman with and keep him fucking honest, but he ain't got that weapon. He has to grapple Usman, and I don't know. I don't see it.
Right. Oh fuck, my bad, Otis. I forgot your other goddamn question. I should have hit. There it is. Who's your winner of the weekend, and how's it not a 3-way tie between Marina Rodriguez, Michael Chandler, and Dustin Poirier? Who's your biggest winner out of all those three? Because I'm gonna exactly.
Oh,
shit. Never mind.
Those are 3 good ones, but again, Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier, they're close. That's real close. There. But it's gotta be Dustin Poirier, right?
Yeah,
it's gotta be Dustin Poirier. He got the win over Conor McGregor, and even though people have beat Conor before, so that mystique is worn off a little. Ain't nobody ever knocked him out. And Dustin did. This is I don't think you ever see Dustin in a non-pay-per-view title fight unless he loses a few. From now moving forward, he just sort of became a star, a pay-per-view draw star, and he got redemption. I mean, his wife outside the cage was, she said, that'll be the last time you guys ever doubt my husband. Yeah. I mean, that's the shit that, fucking gets you teared up. You know what I mean? Like it's so yeah, Dustin's the man.
100%. What else we got? Nate deserves a title shot like Megan Anderson does. Hey, look,
don't fucking act like you wouldn't love it though. Don't act like we would all be there, panties wet as a motherfucker for that fight.
Don't sleep on Nate either. 100%. Biggest winner for me is Chandler because his Google searches went up 60%.
I tell you what, I think
nobody knew who he was before this shit.
I think for me it was Poirier, but Chandler's a close second. I mean, he one could argue that Chandler actually won more just because that was a lot of people's first time watching him fight. He couldn't have had a more. I mean, that was and they even cut the fucking WWE-esque promo afterwards. He did the whole 9 though. You got to hand it to him. I mean, that dude, he had a pretty impressive fucking weekend overall.
Look, what's his name? Dana doesn't sign Bellator guys very often, and he got the one guy who can sell himself. So it worked out. All right. Let's there's no card this weekend. There's one next weekend. That's the is that the Alistair Overeem Volkov fight?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll talk about that next show just to make sure it's fresh.
Yeah, so we got something to go up.
Yeah. All right, so just going through the news rag here. Of course, I don't know. We didn't talk about BJ Penn yet.
Hey, listen, there ain't much to say about BJ either. It's sort of sad at this point for real. He needs to get some help, but clearly he's got a drinking problem, probably a drug problem. I mean, I'm all for the jokes and shit, but I'm a big BJ fan. So at this point, for me, not to be a fucking wet blanket, It's not really funny. BJ needs to get some help. He needs to not, nobody wants to see this sort of thing happen to a legend like BJ Penn. It's one thing if you were a Matt Hughes fan or something in the cage and you didn't like him or whatever, but nobody wants to see a guy like that end up like this. This isn't cute no more. BJ needs to get some help. He needs to stop drinking.
Yeah, no, the thing with that, with the guy like BJ Penn, everything, he's a legend. Like, that's a guy, like you said, like he's one of your favorite guys ever. Like, he's a legend that gave his life to his sport, and for him to be going through the shit he's going through now, kind of like it really sucks. I mean, it's like NFL like Hall of Famers that are they get into trouble and end up killing themselves because of CT and all that shit. It's fucking wild. But yeah, hope for the best for BJ. Hopefully get some help. So apparently ESPN apologized for the problems with the pay-per-view, and let me get to the important part. Here we go. Well, while the technical glitches persisted anywhere from a few minutes up to an hour in the event, ESPN was eventually able to fix the problems with the issue finally being resolved around 11 p.m. Eastern time. Add to that, ESPN will be issuing partial refunds for the event for those who were impacted by the issues that prevented viewers from watching the entire pay-per-view broadcast. Now, I wonder if you got to hit him up for that fucking partial refund, because I will be doing that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or if they'll just do it. So I'm gonna have to fucking hit him up at some point and be like, "Look, I missed the first 2.5 fights, bitches. Hit me up." All right. Oh, and then they just made Whitaker against Paulo Costa, or they're working on it.
Nice.
Good fight. And actually, I think we talked about that too. So anyway, all right. Have a good one, Laura. Thanks for hanging out. And in fact, we got to go too. So
yeah, that's it. We're a bunch 21.
Yeah. So
we just made a movie for y'all, Jack.
There you go. All right, folks. Appreciate you guys hanging out. This is going to replace this Wednesday show just this week. Don't worry about it. We'll be back next Wednesday. Just have a few personal shit I got to deal with. Real quick before I go, appreciate all the messages of support. I did put on there that I did lose a family member to COVID this last weekend. It's just, this whole thing is fucking wild, dude. And now I've lost 4 friends. I've lost 4 friends. One of them was a training partner, jiu-jitsu. The other one, another one was a CrossFit training partner. Two of my buddies from college. Now this makes 3 family members. So it's like, believe what you want. And I know a lot of people are like, I don't know anybody this, I don't know anybody that. Motherfucker, I know a bunch of fucking people.
Yeah, personally.
You know what I mean? People I saw this dude not too long ago, which fucking is the wildest part to me. Like, I wasn't shocked just because I just saw this motherfucker.
Right,
he was fine. Right. He was fine just a little while ago, and now he's gone. His brother's all fucked up from it too, and hopefully he pulls through. But just the only thing I want to put out there. First of all, thank you all for the kind words. Appreciate them. My family appreciates all of that. But like, just take care of yourselves, man. These are wild fucking times we've never been through. And if you're gonna jump on the for example, the politics of it, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're not helping yourself, and more important, you're not helping your friends and family. So I'm not gonna tell y'all to fucking do jack shit. All I'm gonna say is please be careful, protect yourself and protect your friends and your family. However you see that being, however you see effective, whether it's I would say mask up for sure, but whether or not you believe in the reasons that are put out there, whatever. I'm at the point where I'm kind of lost for words on this shit. And I'm really fucking tired. I'm really, really fucking tired of people dying. Really fucking tired of people dying of this shit. So don't come at me with that bullshit. This ain't real. Eat a fat dick. So 100%. I don't give a fuck what. Yeah, that shit's just irritating, dude. Nothing pisses me off more right now. No, it's a hoax. It's a fucking Democrat hoax, bitch. I can show you people that ain't here no more because of it. Yeah, so fuck off with that bullshit. All right. But anyway, please just take care of yourselves and be careful and be safe. All right. I don't want to see anyone, no more people fucking die from this shit at all. Other than that, man, shout out to everyone tuning in tonight. Laura was here for the entire show. Appreciate you, girl. It's been a minute. HMSG, Otis, our brother, and Mr. Beckham was here talking about my main picks were wrong. A lot of people's were. Mine was shit. I use Connor's excuse. I hadn't made picks in a minute. There you go. Zabul, Tyler George is here. RGNS in the ground. Appreciate you, man. And thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button real quick. and the little thumbs up would be dope. Who else do we have here? We had a lot of people here today, man. Appreciate the fucking everyone that tunes in. Hey, appreciate that, bro. You're dope. But again, we'll catch you guys next week. Appreciate the fuck out of all y'all. Good night. Good night, Wilshire.